wake me up when the sun goes down. Feelings right, you wake me up when the sun goes down. Sleepless nights, you wake me up when the sun goes down. I can't help it, baby, not myself when the sun goes down.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Carson Craftsman. I'm Joel. If you have not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We do a lot of tool reviews. We build some things out of wood, work on some cars here and there, do some home renovation projects. So please hit that like and subscribe button. And today we are going to do a review on the Ryobi tabletop bandsaw. I got this for Christmas. Been working with it for a few months, and I just wanted to go over some things I like, some things I don't like, and basically go over the general tool, what it comes with, and give you my advice on whether I think that you should buy it or not. So let's go ahead, dig into it, and I will show you all the inner workings, do some test cuts with it, and then I'll go over the things I like and the things I don't like. So let's get started. All right, so here's a little closer view of the bandsaw here. So pretty much all it comes with is the blade and this little miter gauge. It does go up to a 45-degree angle here. I have not used the angle gauge too much, so I can't say much for it, but it does seem a little flimsy, but it does come with it. It does not come with a fence like some of them do. I believe the Wen comes with the fence, which would be a nice little option, but I have put a 2x4 with some clamps on the side to act as a fence, so that does work. So this little door right here opens up. As you can see, I've been using it quite a bit. It has some rubber on the wheel here, which keeps the blade aligned. And if we come around to the back, it does have a dust extraction port. I haven't hooked my vacuum up to that yet, so I can't say how well that works, but it really doesn't create too much dust at all anyway when you're just using it. This is the Ryobi Bs904G model. And then up here we have the adjustment lever, which does the blade tension. And then again, this is the blade tension as well. And if we come over here, we have a nice little window. This shows you the tracking of the blade, which is kind of nice to make sure that you have it centered on the wheel. This door opens up. And again, it pretty much looks like the bottom with the big wheel with the rubber on it to keep the blade aligned. Then here's the tension with the spring and the knob up top like I showed you earlier. So then we can also use this lever here, which adjusts the guide for the blade height, so you can cut thicker material up or down. Then we have the on-off switch. So that's pretty much the basic overview of the tool. And it also has a lock here. If you loosen this up, and then you can bevel the whole table. Which I have not had to use to do that yet, but it is a nice feature to have, to be able to bevel the table. So this is what I was talking about that I do sometimes, because this saw does not come with the fence. I just take a 2x4, put my square on it, obviously, to make sure that it's square with the table and then the edge of the 2x4. And then I just put a clamp on either end. You can see I got a clamp in the back there as well. So then that way you can kind of put your piece up against it. And you have that, or if you're ripping or resawing here, then you can go ahead and do that as well, and you have a fence to go up against. So that does work. I'm not really sure why they didn't include a fence, especially since some of the other brands do. It seems like it would have been a good idea to have that as well. So, but this is a quick workaround and it's cheap to do. So that pretty much goes over the basic overview of the adjustments for tightening the blade, the two doors, top and bottom, the gauge that it comes with, how the table tilts, dust extraction port on the back of it. I did the quick cuts here so that you can see. Did some cuts here so that you can see that it can also do, you know, zigzags and not just straight cuts here. It does work pretty well. It's really nice having this nice thin blade to get a nice precision cut. One thing that I did find, so let's go over the positives. The positives that I like about it, it's nice and compact. It's not too large, fits right on top of my workbench. It does have a dust extraction port. Like I said, I didn't use it yet, but I do think they would work well. It really doesn't kick up much dust at all. That's why I really haven't even hooked it up yet. It is nice. It comes with the miter gauge here. I just love how convenient it is to cut things when I'm trying to do woodworking projects and I don't feel like taking out my miter saw or I don't feel like taking out my table saw. A lot of times this will replace those two tools. Now, obviously if they're already out, it's easier to use those tools. But if I don't really want to get into it and take everything out, this is a great tool to have. It's so quick and easy, doesn't make a ton of dust, and you can get really nice precision cuts with it. So I really love this tool. I think it's a great addition to my workshop here. And I would definitely recommend it to anyone. So this is the smaller bandsaw. Compared to some of the freestanding ones, this was $140 at Home Depot. I think it's pretty comparable to the other ones out on the market of this size. The Wen I think is around 120, 130 as well. Now the larger bandsaws cost upwards of $500-700. Now the benefits of those is that they have a larger throat size, so you can cut larger material, as well as they can have taller depth so that you can cut even higher material and do some resawing. So let's go ahead and get into the negatives. I really only have two. So my first negative is that it does not come with the fence, like I said earlier. I do think that that would be a great addition to the tool. Even if they sold it aftermarket, I would definitely purchase it. So the other negative, which really I don't think is the saw's fault, I think that I was pushing it too hard, is that I tried to resaw this log here. And I did notice that the blade traveled a little bit, not too much. I was pretty happy with it for how thick the material is, but I did stall out the motor twice. It's a pretty thick log, so I'm not really surprised that it did stall it out. I've never had it stall out with any of my other material, the 1/2 inch, 3/4, or even a 2x4. It never stalls out. It cuts right through it like butter. So they're really my only two complaints about this. I do love this unit. So all in all, I would definitely recommend it. I think it's a great addition to the shop. Like I said, it doesn't create a lot of sawdust, which I love because I always try to keep that down. And it's so easy to take out as opposed to my larger tools. And it just makes it easy, you know, when I only have a couple minutes here and there to do some projects, take this out, make the cuts that I need to make, and then we're on our way and we're done. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about it, please leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer. If there's some other tools that you want to see me review, definitely leave a comment. And I hope you enjoyed, like I said, and like and subscribe to the video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.